So here we go. Old school run. Start by running into the building and getting sucked into the game. In all honesty, the first half of the run through the game is pretty benign. There's really not much chance of death in my opinion until maybe that annoying chain room towards the end of the church area, but I'm pretty good with that after as much practice as I've had. So I'll be pretty upset if I have any deaths before the icy area. And there's a few rooms in that section that are just kind of a crapshoot. I mean, I'm pretty well practiced with the whole game. So deaths here and there randomly, or I could struggle in any of a number of rooms that are tricky. So try to do things quickly, but safely, of course. I'm not going to take too many chances to save time, but I won't be dilly-dallying. The last room before the agility orb with the several moving platforms can be speedrun, but I say now that my plan isn't to try to save 30 seconds by quickly jumping through the room, but I'll probably end up trying it and dying and starting over. No, I made it. Foolish, but it's so early on that you're not really risking anything but a couple of minutes to save 30 seconds. So now I've got the proper jump. I won't be bothering with any cassettes or ducks. I'll just be speedrunning along. Like I said, well into the church. And taking the two shortcuts here very early on to save about 15 minutes. Grab this Lumo book up here. Backtrack towards the starting room to get to the first shortcut. These shortcuts are only available in Old School mode. These platforms don't exist in adventure mode, so shortcut may be here, but there's just no way to get there without the platforms. Dedication's what you need. So this will put me all the way to the key that you need to get to the first locked door. I'll go down to this room with the 4 dissolving blocks and a duck, and I'm gonna take the northeast exit over to the map page, which is a 1-up in Old Skool. Start stockpiling those lives. I think I'll be at 10 or 11 if I get through properly when I start the icy area. Like I said, it's the real first place I think that you can start encountering some truly dangerous hazards. There's the first progression item, the SD card. coming up in the second room away. A little boat in it. Shortcut right there beyond the boat. I'm going to come in here and grab the second one up. If you want to be a record breaker, these two shortcuts do save, I would say anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Minecart ride by about 13 and a half minutes. Normally it takes almost 30 minutes to get there. I feel like this is usually map page 4 or 5, I don't remember right off the top of my head, so you do skip a couple of one-ups, I think at least 1 or 2, by taking the shortcuts. And I don't think there's really much of a chance of dying before you would get here, so it's really kind of a question of saving 15 minutes to miss out on a couple of extra guys. I think it's worth it. My target time is going to be about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I think that's what I've done it in the 2 times I've made successful old school runs. Both times I was in the low single digits of remaining lives, so we'll see if I can improve my precision on this run. There's a few rooms in the Cauldron area that just are very hit or miss for me. One little room in particular, and I believe it's in the area where, I don't remember off the top of my head, obviously it all kind of blends together when you're not actively doing it, but it's a little room with spikes and then floor spikes, and you need to do 3 jumps to get out, and it's just an absolute nightmare. I don't know why it shouldn't be as difficult as it is, and I think I've died there 3 or more times in both of my successful runs. The stupid spacing for the spikes and then the floor spikes that pop out and don't line up properly. This is pretty easy. These spike balls really are almost... The hitbox is very small on them comparative to what you see, so it's difficult to die on those. This is trickier than it seems like it should be. I don't know that I've ever died there, but just watching the shadow, it feels like I've almost fallen off all 4 of those platforms on my way across. Took a little shortcut up to the wheel to save 2 seconds there. After this is going to be the rolling ball hallway. The ball landing jars the screen right when you would be in position to jump over some floor spikes, and I find it easiest to just weave through the first 3 sets of floor spikes and then jump over the rest that you can't weave past. These floor spikes are definitely more forgiving than some later in the game as far as the hitbox. Thought I might have jumped too early on that one. So I'll drop down and get the second progression item. The multi-face, I guess. It's kind of an interesting mechanic here. Underutilized, obviously, just in this one room. Kind of odd that the piece that you're pulling won't keep up with the speed of the magnet, so you kind of gotta go and stop and go and stop as you bring it across. Otherwise, like that, you'll get a range and it'll get stuck there. This first conveyor moves very quickly, and I have a bad habit of falling off of it, which is frustrating because the only reason I'm going on it is to come over to an extra guy. Nothing worse than dying before you get the one up. I mean, at least if you die on the way back, you can hopefully break even. That was close. This duck is annoying to get. I haven't found a good way to get it without dying randomly. Thankful for that achievement that you can abuse the save system, because having to play through in adventure mode a considerably longer amount of time to get here for a chance at that duck towards the achievement would be annoying. Need to go get the minecart wheel, and then do the minecart ride, and then we'll be at the church. There's really not much opportunity for death for the first, I would say, 30 minutes of this run. There'll be some tricky parts in the church before you get out to the icy area, but not many. Comfortable with those annoying chain jumps in that room now. Facing backwards. Done it so many times that I'm pretty comfortable with it. It looks like it'll be about 13 and a half minutes that I start the minecart ride, and we'll be up to the church at about the 15-minute mark. I glitched this out one time. I jumped up here, ran as quickly as I could over to the minecart, and next thing I know the minecart sequence started and I wasn't in it. It was an empty minecart, but I could control it just like I can here. And then when I got to the end, the picture was taken and it showed me in the minecart. I'm sure that picture that's generated isn't dependent on your sprite being in there. But when it put me back in control at the next area where the minecart ends up, the glitch screen really glitched out and the game was confused that my character wasn't there. It started kind of glitching over and up into the church, and eventually the screen completely froze, but the game had progressed all the way forward through into the room in the church where the first spider is encountered that you have to go flip a switch to shoo away. And then the game kind of froze up there, and it was very strange. I was almost hoping I hadn't completed Old Skool mode. It was one of my early Old Skool runs. I was almost hoping that the game would glitch all the way to the end of the game and give me the achievement, but I ended up freezing there at that spider. I'm guessing something happened between triggering that wall switch and getting over and into the minecart very quickly. Obviously not bothering with all the coins. It's impossible to get fewer than 10, which you will redeem the first time you get dropped in the warp zone, and then I'll be playing the Qbert game and just letting time run out. I don't think deaths in there count, but I've never taken a chance. 15 minutes and I'm heading up to the church. Of course, I'll dip left here into the room to get the one up. The next one will be in the and the maze that leads to the crystal orb. And then there will be one at the midway point in the tricky chains room. So I guess I could get, unless I've missed one. I'm forgetting one, I don't think so. Start in the frozen, the icy area with 10 extra lives, and there's one as soon as you start that area. There's several in that area that aren't map pages as well. It's kind of an interesting layout here where the statue adds the gem. I just thought it was kind of odd that this left section is just one room and then everything else takes place over on the right. Kind of a odd balance of direction for the tasks at hand. Thought it might have been a good opportunity to hide a cassette down into the left here as well. The first time I got here, playing through blind, I didn't realize I could run through this water and was stuck for a little while till I took a chance and jumped into it. I also definitely totally missed the books on this bookshelf that lead to a cassette tape the first time through. This part's just this whole next sequence up until I get back to the statue with his orb is pretty boring in my opinion, going through the swimming sections and then through that linear maze it's all busy work for 10 minutes. Thought it was an odd design decision to have you get the wand, which is completely useless until you get the lantern that lets you toggle it on and off, and having you get the two items separately so close together. Back into the water. I find it strange that it locks those upper rooms while it unlocks the lower rooms, or exits and entrances at least. I was exploring around after flipping that switch and I was able to get into those locked upper rooms from the other side right through the locked gate, so I don't quite understand the logic behind, like that gate right there, I don't understand the logic behind raising it. Obviously I can't swim back through it this way, but from the other side I can get right through and then it'll put me in this room on the other side of that gate. It's kind of a strange design decision. Grab the wand, go get the wand power, go get the crystal. Backtrack all the way back to the warp zone. multiple times I've carelessly run into this room and gotten killed by the spiders, just sort of trying to hurry through this section. Several rooms throughout the game where if you rush in, you will die. You get to remember what they are through repetition. I had it once where I ran too close to the spiders in this room and he came after me and I jumped and I must have thought he killed me because he turned around and walked away and I survived. It was unexpected. Wand power. I also found out that once you've scared the spiders with the wand and they start running away, you can still be killed by them. I think it's in the, not this room, but the room you go through after after getting the crystal on your way back to the statue. You go through a little connector room with spiders, and even if you have your wand on when you enter the room, it takes a minute for the spiders to run across the path in front of you, and you can run right into them and die even though they're scurrying away. Kind of a strange design in this room in that not much puzzle to it, very straightforward, just sort of slowing you down to, I don't know, a little more complicated than just running through, but not complicated enough in my opinion to be worth the hassle of the complication. So we'll work our way through the spiders. There is of course a 1-up over there that you can see on the right side of the screen. You don't even need to get any of the fireflies on your way through here. The spiders won't respawn before you get back, and even if they do, you have plenty of wand power. I don't know if they respawn on the timer or if it's leaving the area that causes it, because I know if you drop off into the secret room with a cassette tape up here on the left, I'm not going to go into, when you backtrack out, they will be there. But I don't know if I just took long enough to come back. Kind of irrelevant. All this thing all the way back to the statue. I'm just gonna grab this just because I feel like it. I always try to take the chains back across. It almost irritates me if I fall into the water here, I don't know why. Random and irrelevant. So then there'll be spiders when you go into this room. You want to let them scurry away before you start moving through, or you will die if you touch them. Let's back out to the statue. water stopped to let the ghost catch me here in this room. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not gonna find out now. I guess I would have to imagine that you die and it just respawns at this instant. I don't know. You shall not pass. Shrug. Alright, so we could go any way here through this warp zone, but I find that some of the, I always just go this way on my old school runs. This room is easy to get through without risk of death. Some of them are much more challenging and require much more platforming. This one is just a matter of running to the red arrows. And then, I don't imagine that deaths at this point count towards my actual life total, but I've never risked it. I just come stand up here and wait for 40 more seconds and fail the event since there's nothing to be gained from completing it. And it's only going to get more difficult on the second and third phase. Again, I don't believe that deaths in here matter. I don't risk it. I just, like I said, I just ride it out. I wonder if that one would kill me if it reached me. Probably not. And when I was counting my expected lives, I did forget about this next one. That page in the green platforms. I have 11 at the start of the icy area and 12 after I arrive. Where are you from, originally? So what are we at, about 29 minutes? Yeah, 29 and a half. Go ahead and grab this one up quickly. Really kind of just now getting to, let's say, the first real dangerous sections. I had a bad habit that I had to force myself out of toggling the wand off when I was still on green platforms. No human would stack books like this. I didn't even know that I've been taking an unintentional shortcut in this room all along, because I'll jump to the chain right from this wooden platform. Apparently you're supposed to follow green platforms around. I didn't even know that. Completely unnecessary since you can make it from that wooden platform. Can't tell you how many times I've run into this room and not moved immediately and died to that spider. Obviously, it's one of those things that you do it a few times and then you learn. This jump to the chain always makes me nervous. I've never died here. It would have been funny. Not really if I had right there. And now we'll get this RFCC or whatever it's called and go through the annoying chain room. Flux capacitor. My last few times through this room have been very easy. I don't know I've really had many deaths at all. I'm going to be kind of irritated if I struggle with it now. I really do have a good handle on the chains. I remember swinging and swinging and swinging in here, waiting for the appropriate angle to occur. And somehow it just started staying backwards. There we go. So it stayed backwards right away that time. I had to hide. Oh, look at that! I died. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I did that right, so I'm not really sure, honestly, why I died there. Maybe I was out of line. On the correct plane. I'll sort of let things settle down here so I'm in that correct plane. Yep, made it that time. Turned around here. There we go. Easy. Annoying death, but whatever. This part is really not in line the way I expect it to be. Like the crates and these moving platforms, really, it's taken some getting used to feel it to line up. This is a tricky jump here. Try it now. Nope. That jump is tricky, as is the jump to the last crate. Just you're not lined up the way you feel that you want. Like, look at that. Terrible. The perspective making things difficult for these jumps right here. Alright. I rushed this last one, that was the problem. And then this jump, you want to be right near the wall when you jump over. So what, did I die twice there like a dummy? 3 deaths so far. 3 deaths in that room, kind of annoying. But that's a room you definitely want to practice before you start old school runs. And that was careless. Alright, on to the icy area. 3 deaths so far, all in that room. Kind of annoying, but nothing I can do about it. I'll get this first map piece for a 1-up. It's very low risk as long as you know how to handle those rotating platforms. Definitely a couple of areas in this, couple of rooms in this section that give me a hard time. I generally speed run through this room, but taking it slowly. It would feel real dumb if I slipped off of there while taking it slowly. The two rooms coming up here with long moving bridges, one solid and one kind of reticulated, are annoying, for sure. Very easy to die in those if you don't really know what you're doing. It's really very easy to die on pretty much every room in this area. I've died to that thing before, it's really infuriating. I generally always go left first here. Across. This one is timing of it is kind of annoying. I feel like I almost didn't make it. This is just about timing. Taking kind of slow. I feel like that was closer. Now this one, what I do on this one is I wait until the platform is going towards the wall. I kind of angle it so I'm running across the platform and I can bounce off the wall and make my way back. Thankfully, you only have to cross that in one direction. And in this room, do not move forward to get towards the edge of the platform. It'll just walk right off and die. Definitely learned that the hard way. Just wait for the platform to come down and then jump to it. This room can be annoying. It's pretty tight timing to get up to this thing. I got it the first try. And this next room, of course, wait for the bumper to move across to the left side before you go. Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna have to run around this room again. That was just careless. Like I was saying, wait for the bumper to kind of cross to the left and then go. These jumps are kind of annoying because they're short jumps. You gotta really kind of watch your shadow and take it carefully. And this room is very simple. It's easy to be in a hurry and push the block the wrong way. There. And that's it. This room, you could weave between the spikes, which I think I generally just jump over the spikes. I don't know. Jumping over those bottom spikes is just easier. Now this one, I struggle with this one sometimes, even after all the times I've been through here. The way back is way easier. The way across is difficult. The way back, it's gonna line up, so you basically just run straight across. That's done. Jumping onto those platforms can be annoying. You just need to stay in line with the way you're lined up when you first enter, and jump from the edge of the platform, and then of course make your left jump immediately. So you're not running across here, you're really just kind of running straight across. So that's pretty easy. This thing, of course, wait for it to happen like that and go around. And then here we are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one up and I'm going to reset my position so I'm lined up straight. See, I jumped too soon. Jumped too soon. That was kind of a careless death. Kind of annoyed, not gonna lie. Alright. Into the first crystal room. This one we just want to kind of stay on the left-hand side. Once we get across, come back that same way. So when we jump back, we can actually jump to the teleporter and not slide off. Straight across here, so even if I slide, there's enough room for me to stop. The second section, this one has a few tricky rooms as well. This next room, I feel like I die on sometimes. So, that time. You can make this in one run. Oops, look at me. Imagine if I fell off there and died. You can make this in one run, but I definitely would not try it in old school mode. Record. This one again is just a matter of anticipating where this is going to be and then going with the right timing. The perspective in this room is screwy and it's very easy to slide into that block in the corner. This next room with the block chasing you around is very dangerous as well. I would say when you're playing through in adventure mode, practice getting through this room several times, because it's easy to die in here. See, I don't like where that block is now, to be honest. You have to wait for it. Use the wall there when you jump over to kind of position yourself properly. Here, again, don't move until you're ready to go, and give that... Wait a second and give that blockage the oh, you idiot. That was just careless. Save your wand power. Not that you really need it. Because the annoying block puzzle. Kind of irritated that I died in that last room. That was careless. The next room has the 3 bumpers that are moving towards you, and you want to jump over the 2 and have them kind of bounce together and out of your way. The last time I went through that room, I died there, and it was really annoying. So I want to be careful there, but I don't feel like I should have to be careful. That was really dumb. Ugh, careless. Look at this. Alright, tighten up the screws a little bit here. This is really no harm in being careless as long as it doesn't result in death. Alright, there's that. You see, and then what happens is you make a mistake, and now you're trying to go fast to catch back up to where you should have been, and you make more mistakes. Alright. Let's not screw this up. Again, this is stupid. Let's see if I can do this without. Look at this! I'm going back in, resetting, and we have to do the puzzle again, but I'm not dying in there. Annoying. I just jumped too early. Obviously, the 2 bumpers that you basically want to jump over should bump into each other and clear a path for you. So this time I jump. Again, it's no big deal if you don't die. But it's kind of annoying that I've been through that room. Whoops, push this the wrong way. I've been through that room 100 times without problem, and now the last time through I died, and this time I almost did as well. You've got to move quickly through this next room and know the pattern. It's easy to die here. It's you really have to exaggerate your position, because if you're not off to the correct side, you will die. Right, that's that. I think I'm going to jump over these spikes. Yeah, that's the easy way. I feel like I died here last time and felt real dumb. This gem room can be difficult. And just as soon as you can, just start across and work your way up to that pink platform. Just got to be careful not to bump the platforms you're jumping to, or they'll dissipate. From the highest point, jump across. There we go. Alright, so now all that's left in here is that room with all the rotating bumpers. I'm forgetting something. And of course the ski room, which... Oh, this room. You want to, I want to quickly move across and get past the first 2 barriers on their first cycle. Then wait carefully, moving towards the wall and then back for the 3rd cycle. Alright, back up to 10 guys. You can speedrun this room. I watched Gareth do it in his director commentary video. I've never done it myself. Now I'm all nervous with the timing, so I'm going to kind of be quiet for a minute. Drawn a complete blank on what's next. I don't believe there is anything before the teleporter. Or before the ski room. There's the ski run right here, is it not? Yeah, what a brain fart I had there. This is really easy if you're just trying to get through it without dying, but I still have times when I have a dummy moment and die. One thing that's important to remember here is you have much better forward and backward control when you're in the air than you do when you're just sliding. And since we're not worried about hitting the gates or getting the coins, just take the easiest path down. See, now here I want to go wait. What's left is this last spike. Alright, so it's onto the Cauldron area. I'll get this last one up and I'll have 11 guys when I start. So what are we at? I think I have 6 or so deaths now. 3 in the room before the end of the church, the tricky chain room. And then 3 or so in the icy area. 2 or 3. Stretch. I always leave this first left section with the Pac-Man ghosts for last because I think that one's the easiest. Of course, do this one first because turning off the lights down in the basement affects lights in the other areas. Tell you what, I remember dying in this fire room last time and being really irritated with it, so it's really good because you have to wait 15 seconds or so before you can even start across. 30 seconds for another chance. Go across here and I usually don't get this one up, but I think I'm going to. It's not, I don't think it's a very dangerous trek over to it. Just as long as you're careful, there's no flame jets or anything in here, so it's jaunt over to it. Just gotta be careful with the positioning. So close to the edge of this thing. Position. You can get killed by these spikes if you're ride a platform right up next to them and you're on the edge of the platform, which is annoying. Obviously this part with this yellow moving platform is considerably easier than the one at the end of this section, but you only have to ride that one across once because you can take the shortcut back. That door just leads to a coin. Obviously don't need to take that. Alright. So as long as I don't die on these spikes, end up being worth it to get that one up. Just fall down here. We're gonna go turn off the lights. And then flip the 3 switches and ride the bubble across. I die at that bubble ride sometimes and it irritates me. I feel like I have a good handle on the plan and the mechanics for getting through there and then I'll die. That's just how Lumo is sometimes. Being able to skip all the collectibles in these areas makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier. Alright, jump across here. I don't need to hit this lever, although I might hit it sometimes. I do on the way across. Head down again. Lever. Nothing more annoying than bumping into spikes in like an area like that and dying. Dying to this guy is annoying too. It happens sometimes. That jump is annoying to me for some reason. I was in the first platform. I feel like a lot of times I'll make my way carefully from one room to the next through here, but I'm just gonna make a run for it, I think, and die. Idiot. That's a really dumb death. Oh my god, I feel really stupid right now. So I died twice there, how foolish was that? Embarrassing. I can do about it though. die at this stupid fire section. I remember dying on one of my first old school runs because I was in the middle, and when I ran across, the switch prevented me from getting off of the fire plate. It felt pretty dumb. The little particulars that you learn through trial and error. Switch number 3, no reason to go into this warp zone. I think the best way to get to the third switch is to go through here, fall down, and then take the teleporter back up, so you can enter that room right on top. The platforming in the bottom of the lever room is kind of tricky. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it's certainly not worth risking a death to get across those quickly alternating platforms. Once again, usually I'll take a wide berth in this one, play it safe, but like the dummy that I am, I'm going to beeline it right across and try to this fan right here. Now I feel like sometimes this fan doesn't push me up in the air like that. I don't really have a good understanding of why I die in this section sometimes. It's annoying. That's the tricky part for me, is getting into position after this fan, and then getting through the next section. So right here, I have to now wait for the fire to talk. Come on, push me up. Now we'll go. There we go. This one usually pushes you high enough that you can go right over these next spikes. So I'll do that. Into this fan. Making the last little move. One up cancels out the stupid death, sort of. This room is annoying. Come on. Phew, that was close. I'm gonna go get wand juice, as he calls it in the director's commentary. I'll get this one up. I'll ride this across carefully. Get the key. The perspective in this room makes it tricky for sure. So I don't like how I'm on the edge of this platform. I position myself until I get across this fire. It's fine. Up. This fire's going to make a left turn. This fire stays out forever, but I'm just going to jump here and wait for it to burn. Go across after. There we go. Okay, so I'm through this. I can use the wand here to kind of get over halfway, but that doesn't really help get past the second one, so I'll just take it slow and play it safe. Stopped her and might have gotten me. The trick here is run across, get onto this first closer platform, and fall to the bottom. As soon as it gets back in line where you can run over to it, run to it, and then make it back. That's easy. I died there a bunch of times before I knew the trick. That was closer than I would have liked for it to be. So now we're going to take the shortcut back and avoid that stupid moving platform room. I'm going to fall down here onto these blue bumpers, and now I'm done. So now this room with the locked door. Sometimes I kind of get killed in here, so I'm just going to make a run for it. That's 2 sections done. That's the 3rd section with the stupid... I'm sorry, 1 section done. The 2nd section has the that stupid little room with the spikes and floor spikes where I sometimes die repeatedly. The 3rd section has the light prism, the light puzzle, and then the ghost section. So that's only 1 section done. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think these 3 sections are about equally difficult, and then that 4th section, this one down here, is I think the easiest. This is the order I always do them, and I'll do this one next. Almost jumped too soon there. It's very easy to miss that one up, but I got it. Yeah, this is annoying. This isn't so bad over here. This room, it is possible to shoot. Okay. You can just let yourself fall straight down here. Which, the few times I've tried it has worked. I will be irritated if I die when this has worked for me in the past. The way I do this, which I guess might be the correct way, is to stay along the walls, and you can see your shadow on those wooden platforms where the lasers come out of, and that'll help you align yourself to fall through the lasers. But there's no sense in taking that chance if this works, which 1 or 2 times that I've remembered to not touch the controller when I first enter this room, it has worked for me. But if you jostle yourself out of alignment, you very well may likely die. I think I'm going to move here just because why not? There's no hazards in this corner, and then the last one is fall through the middle. Just play it safe. Over the middle, and I'm down. Alright. So that's done. And this room, of course, is just a matter of timing it so you land on the block where it's going to be when it moves. And then that's going to remove the barrier. There's a lot more work to be done in this section if you're trying to get the collectibles, which I am not, so now it's the room, the hell room in my opinion. This room is just, I could get through the first time, I could lose all my lives here. The way I do this is I jump over that spike and then I back up. I made it first try, just gotta be careful with those jumps. All we have to do here is fall down. There's nothing in that room that's necessary. The lights are already off from the last section. Section. Sometimes I'll do this in 10 seconds and sometimes I'll be messing with it for 2 minutes. The perspective kind of is a tricky as far as jumping over these things and knowing exactly what the alignment is. No threat of dying. Imagine if there was something in here that could kill you, it would make it really annoying. See, I feel like I'm bumping him forward and I'm not. finally. This is the block puzzle, or the crate puzzle. There's a guide there. A couple of ways to do this, I think. The way I've always done it is to line them up over here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. This one first. I never took the time to, in my mind, to work out any other ways to do this. Gareth does it differently in his video. It's done. I want to be careful to jump later than it seems like you have to. I can't tell you how annoying it was when I bumped those blocks and didn't make it onto them. And then I have died jumping back from here, trying to either jump onto the blocks or doing like the Flintstone run before I get speed to jump across. Careful with that little part right there. And now this last room is very simple. I do need to make it past a couple of the spiked bumpers in this little room. I think I just jump over the spikes is the way I prefer to do this. Yeah. This part you want to just get over to this brown platform and get back on the... Everything is timed for that. The disappearing and reappearing laser is really the variable in here. And if you die, you want to leave and come back in so everything resets and it's back on the right path for timing. Of course, I want to make sure you're centered on this platform so you don't die to any of the spikes. Disappear and disappear. I'll have to jump over this one, but if that's not aligned properly for timing, you're going to die there and it's going to be annoying. This jump through the spikes down here by the cassette always makes me nervous, although I've never died there, but it seems like it's a lot more precarious than it is. Go to that other door for the warp zone. Hey, that's my first cassette. And that's it. 2 sections done. And that went well. I don't know that I died in there. I'm trying to think back through it. I don't remember. This section definitely has some tricky rooms and chances to die, especially down by that glowing orb that you need to light up. There's some tricky rooms down there. We go. Stupid thing, run past that. I don't even bother getting the map in there. I die too much trying to get it. It's not worth it. The map, the 1-up. Maybe I just never really practiced adventure mode with it adequately to be comfortable with the platforming over those lasers and the moving platform. Okay, so what you want to do here is come into this corner, and then once everything rotates by, you can jump through to safety. Get the fireflies. Take this shortcut way. Up and over this wall. Turn off your wand. Onto this platform and back. Lever, I mean. Now that the lights are off, I can toggle this and run across. And this room... I've died in this room on numerous occasions. I prefer to come down here and run along the spikes down here, baiting it back first. Look at that. Annoying. Try it again. That was definitely, I mean, I don't not understand why I died. I definitely bumped into those spikes, but it seems like not a lot of room for error there. That I had forgotten about, so we're back up to 12. Get the key. Carefully. That was close. Alright, out of here. Refill, just because better safe than sorry. should be the pink bumpers down below. This room takes some pretty tight timing. I just kind of give him a head start and then go. And this room annoys me. The spacing on the... I won't go between those spikes there. I won't go around this way where it seems like there's more room. This is easy. Just gotta weave through it. Just be quick. You can always jump kind of over spikes and around to cheat a little bit. It's essentially going to be the last little difficult leg here. I've died moving in between these things sometimes. Go, 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 go. God, that was closer than I wanted it to be. This stupid room with the pink bumpers. That was closer than I was. The trick here is to get ready to jump over this fire now. Alright, so... that was three of the more dangerous rooms on this section. I made it through. This room can be annoying too. Just gotta move with conviction once these things start going. There we go, through there. Don't fall down here. This room is easier. This is the more difficult one. The spacing. All that's going to be left in here is the room beyond that door, which has... I jump over that bumper instead of kind of angling over spikes and avoiding it altogether, which I've had better success with. Line yourself up properly, as long as you jump early enough, you'll make it every time. Alright, now it's going to be the light puzzle, which is super simple. And then the room with the spiked cube that I died on last time. Easiest way to do this is red. This one all the way down first. This one up. That's down for blue. So blue, and that's it. I need to go get one juice. I don't know that I've ever gone through this next room the appropriate way. I'm going to assess it right now and just sort of see how I would do it. But I always obviously go over. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily difficult, but why make it difficult if it doesn't have to be? I'm going to just be careful with this guy because he killed me last time. Jump onto this one. And that's 3 sections done. And only what I consider the easy section left. I think the only really difficult part is going to be platforming over to the key across the moving platforms and then jumping up to the key. Which, once you get the key, you could die and you'll be right back at the door. But yeah, there's just a couple tricky platforming. When I say tricky, mildly difficult platforming rooms. If you take it slowly, you won't have any problems. Shadow is the key to getting through this part efficiently. Things are lined up pretty well here for me. I'm gonna wait. There we go, I'm across. This room is very simple. I just sort of hug this north wall and kind of run back and forth. I don't know that I've ever died here. I wouldn't be surprised if I did now that I've said that. Things really aren't too aggressive in their seeking. This next one I'm going to kind of run away from because it's going to be the last one. Now this room, the perspective in this room can be really tricky. It's not beyond the realm of imagination to die here a bunch of times. Honestly, if I die on my way back, I'm not even going to be mad, because I'm going to be right back down by the door with 11 guys left. So I'm in pretty good shape, I would say. Seeing as, honestly, the only difficult thing I have left is getting across this, and then over to the locked door to the Pac-Man area. That was close, that last couple jumps made me a little nervous. Alright, now it's over to the locked door. This guy's gonna come back this way, though. Kind of go around. I'm not really comfortable running with any sort of speed in this room, so I'm kind of taking it slow. That should be it. And I would say I'm home free at this point. Obviously, you want to start moving immediately so the ghosts can't catch you. Yes, if you weren't quick enough, you could run out of one power before you get him back. What I generally try to do is I'm going to make a circle around for the fireflies and kind of try to lead him towards the next corner over on the right, so I don't have as far to run. The ghosts really aren't too aggressive, and there's, I would say, very little danger of actually dying in this part once, let alone 11 times to end my run. Seeing these ghosts aren't even being aggressive in tracking me, so I've got to go chase after them. I've been pretty dumb if I ran out of one power before he got trapped. Never had that happen before. I imagine he would just have gone free again and I'd have had to run and get some more fireflies. This guy isn't even anywhere near me. Speedrunner's nightmare having to chase after these ghosts. Where is this guy? There we got him. No reason to take the left portal. And that's it. Old school run complete. All that's left now is to get the R-Pie and watch the ending sequence. At 1:16:11. Actually, I think I have to move back to the previous room, at which point in time the clock will probably be moving. Was the last time I saw on the screen. So the leaderboard selectable from the main menu doesn't seem to work, at least not for me. I'll check it when we get back there. I'm not sure exactly what it tracks, or if it believe it does track time, or it was supposed to. Not sure what time it would show for me. 1:16:43 is the last time I saw, but who knows when it actually ends. Could still be counting time right now. There's about 5 minutes of ending sequence here before it gets to the back to the start screen. I think I had, what, 10 extra guys left. I think I had 11 going into that last section and then died after I got the key. So I think I had 10 left. That's pretty good. This is my third completion. I think for my first two I had 2 or 3 guys left each time, so this was better. A lot of dumb deaths, many very avoidable deaths. I don't think I died in any of the real dangerous places, just in almost places I really didn't expect to die. So I don't know if I'll try it again. I thought it might be cool to get through it with a no death run, but there's just so many places where you could just die by being a pixel off, and it's almost unavoidable. And I don't think it's really worth the hassle for a no death run, unless maybe if I had 100,000 Twitch followers, then maybe I would be going for it. That's it. That's your old school run. Hope my commentary was helpful in explaining sort of the trickier parts and how to best approach them. Of course, you're going to want to practice in adventure mode, and any part where you die with any sort of frequency, I would say replay it at that moment. So since there's no backtracking really, so you can get comfortable with the timing and the perspective and for that particular room that you're having troubles with. Then it's just a matter of making old school runs until you get through. I think it took me about 4 or 5 runs, but I definitely wasn't practiced enough and was really learning on the go through those old school runs. That chain room that I died embarrassingly enough 3 times really gave me a lot of problems in my really unsuccessful runs. I really wasn't familiar at all with the Cauldron sections, having only been through them once or twice before.
I love you.
I guess that's really it. So, thanks for watching, and I'm going to give this leaderboard a double check from the main menu here momentarily. And good luck to you as you try to get this achievement. It was very gratifying and fulfilling when I finished it. And there it is, a network error has occurred. So I see ducks and cassette tapes, but it is an old school leaderboard, so I don't know if it shows time.
Hello?
I'm not going for ducks or cassette tapes in an old school mode, so I don't know. Anyway, signing off. Good luck.